G'day YouTube, back again with another video. It's been a while since I've done projects, but I am in the middle of fine-tuning the Golf, the ECU, oh pardon me, and doing bits and bobs in the engine bay, just tidying it up, adding some, I've got a video on the not PCV, but it is kind of the PCV, but it's like a catch can, eBay catch can. But today I just wanted to what we have here, you might know it already. It is, by the looks of it, a ram air filter. Now that's supposed to sit like that and replaces the air box entirely, and I like the design of it. I'm probably going to put some rubber strips on top to give it a bit more of a seal, though I'm told it's still too low anyway. And this will fit the 2.5 inch MAF housing. Mine's probably 2.75, so a little bit bigger. Don't know what I'm going to do yet. I'm probably going to modify it. Worst case scenario, I'm going to cut here, and just cut it all the way down, and then let the MAF sit on top, just like that. So we'll see how we go. I don't know if I can use this filter. Unfortunately, it looks like the mouth might be a bit too small. This is probably enough for a 2.7 or 2.5 inch housing. Yeah, we'll see how we go. I don't want to restrict the airflow by putting a smaller unit on or stepping it down, so I'm probably going to keep my old filter on there, and maybe give this away to one of the guys in the group. But I'm definitely going to use this. I'm going to repurpose this entirely for sure, because I quite like the way it looks. And I've been looking at finding a heat shield anyway, because I've actually put the pod back on again, and I just want to make it a bit more tidy around this this part here. So I'm going to take the intake off and start mocking it up to see where I need to cut, drill, or modify it to get it to work. So yeah, see how we go now. I'm going to start off by just removing the intake from here. So that's probably a 10mm bolt there. I might remove the catch can or just take it off so I can move it to the side. We'll see. Might need to be relocated altogether, might not, never know. Let's see how we go. Don't think there's anything blocking it here, so yeah, I'll spray this down, give it a clean, and yeah, go from there. So gloves on, let's go. Alright, let's start by taking off the catch can. This is all custom work here. Bracket on the battery box. That should be an easy one. Do the rest by hand and it should come out. Right, let's get this off. Get the intake off the housing. Alright, so I've mocked it up. Where the MAF sits, it sort of pushes the housing a bit in. So what I can do is just maybe get something bolted like there and just call it a day, because I like the way it's positioned right now. It's not too invasive. And the hole, believe it or not, fits over, so that is a bonus. That'll work. That's going to work. What's not going to work is this new. I'm going to have to reposition the catch can somehow, because that's now in the way of the shield. So not a problem. It's still going to work. I think it's going to sit roughly like that anyway. Try and get it bolted down. Yeah, I think it's going to sit like that, or something like that. let's see how we go. Alrighty, so I don't think I shouted out to the guy who gave me the ram air filter, Kenny JT, I think Kenny JT from Instagram, Facebook. He's been generous enough to just yeah, pass it on over. So hats off to him. Link in the descriptions. But yeah, good bloke. I'm gonna take him out to lunch one day for the nice gesture. But yeah, it's coming along fine. I'm yeah, getting it on now. Alrighty, so I went looking in the spare box to see what I could find, and I might be able to make something work here. Just bolt those two down, and that should be all she wrote. Some new bolts here, see if those fit, and then I think I need to take this off and bolt it down in there. I think. I don't know. Maybe. Is that even real? Yeah, I think that's what it's for. So I'm gonna get this down first, make sure it's nice and snug, or as snug as it can be, and then yeah, so let's see what bolts I have, nuts and bolts I have to play with. It's always good to keep some spares. Some may say you're a hoarder, but whatever. Now, I've managed to make this work. That is holding that down, and the other side I've got that bolted down to the original spot, and the MAF, thankfully, didn't need to be chopped. Actually fits right in there. So I think all there's left to do now is to try and fit that on. Yeah, I think this part is done pretty much, so let's get it on. Before I mount the intake, I'm going to what's that noise? Nope. So before I mount the intake, I'm going to figure out how I'm going to mount this bad boy, and it's going to mount the back, because I don't think these otherwise are going to be able to get through like that. So there's this, okay, and there's that, and then there's this. Okay, so it's going to have to mount on the outside, you know, and that's fine. I'm going to take this off the heat sink, and then use the heat shield as a heat sink. So let's see how we go with that. It's just 2 Phillips by the looks of it. So yeah, all right, that's what it looks like when it's off, and I'm going to mount it on the outside like that. So it's going to mount like that, so it's not going to be zip tied anymore, thank God. And I might actually just see if I can connect it and see what's the best way to flip the cables. So I'll do that now. So that's actually bolted that down. Now it's the intake time, and then we're going to fix the catch can. So here we go. Alrighty, that's done. That's on. It was a bit of a pain in the ass, only because there's not a lot of wiggle room to get the intake on, but it's on. I'm going to put the battery cover down, and that is how that's going to sit. I might have to mount it like that. So I think that's how it's going to mount with the intake. So that's looking, you know, that's looking pretty decent for a, you know, for an intake. So not too bad. I'm sure the heat shield's not going to do much in terms of heat shielding, but looks good, and it's going to stop the intake from, you know, moving around a lot more than the bracket that I had mounted on before. So that's going to be a wrap. I'm going to try and get this mounted on somehow. I think I'm going to do something like this for the time being. Yeah, I'm going to do it like that. So yeah, I'll do that now and get this all mounted on to make it look proper again. Alrighty, I wanted to finish this off first to make sure it's nice and proper done now. The catch can is now relocated. I'm not exactly happy with where it's placed. I might just have to move it over here, maybe attach it to the heat shield. I'm not sure, but for now it'll do. And that's where it's going to sit. So intake, ram air, we had to modify it, and I didn't explain it at the start why I had to modify it, but if you're an absolute stock MK4 GTI motor, you don't have to do any of this stuff that I was doing with measuring and changing the way it's mounted, only because I've got a different setup to everyone. I've got a K04-023 from a Audi S3 TT, you know, the slightly larger turbo. So that in turn has different placement of the turbo, different tip, different MAF housing. It sort of pushes it out a little bit, so none of it really, you know, lines up except for that one bolt down there. That's a godsend. I didn't have to do anything there. Can probably tighten that knot, it's fine. And that was out by that much because of how much the MAF pushes it out. So the original MAF was probably that much, pushed that out that much, so that makes sense how that's, you know, misaligned. I'm fine with that, with the setup that I've got. I've got the AGU ignition control module at the back there. The next thing is really just to cross my fingers and see if it starts. So I don't think I can use this. It'll probably cause a bit of a restriction, but yeah, it should fire up. And there it is, with a bit of a cold start quack. There's my xenons. So that's running sweet now. Should be good. Oh, always forget something, so I forgot my MAF sensor there. Okay, that's turned off the car, that's normal. It'll probably run a bit rich as well without the MAF sensor. Okay. So that's good. Alrighty, one more shot. Put the car to the side. But yeah. Go. So quickly read the faults, clear it. Should be reading one MAF sensor fault. There it is. Clear that. Good as gold. Alrighty guys, that's a wrap. Thank you for watching. I'm going to probably include the catch can install with this video. So you'll see catch can getting installed first and then the intake. Just makes sense to put them two together. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video, and yeah, see you in the next video.